The monastic site of Clonmacnoise was founded in 544 AD by Saint Ciaran of Clonmacnoise, or Ciaran the Younger as he was also known. Born the son of a carpenter from County Roscommon, Saint Ciaran was one of the 12 Apostles of Ireland, a group of 12 monastic saints, all of whom studied at Clonard Abbey under the guidance of Saint Finian in the early 6th century. Situated in County Offaly, on the banks of the River Shannon, near the border with County Roscommon, Clonmacnoise was well placed at the crossroads between two well-travelled routes of the day. The River Shannon was the primary route travelled through Ireland for many centuries, and this undoubtedly had a positive impact on the growth of the monastery. Following the construction of the first church on the site by Saint Ciaran in 544 AD, Clonmacnoise quickly flourished, and by the end of the 7th century was widely regarded as a centre of education in Ireland and across Christian Europe. Early life in Clonmacnoise and the surrounding area comprised of a bustling mixed community of monks, farmers, traders, craftsmen and lay people. By the end of the 8th century, the site had a populace in the region of 2,000 people. It is widely believed among historical societies that Clonmacnoise was one of the first, if not the first, city in Ireland. Following the fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, there was a significant decline in learning right across Europe. Ireland, however, would be largely untouched by turmoil on the continent, and as Gaelic chieftains and high kings were converted to Christianity, monastic settlements such as Clonmacnoise would come to find patronage and protection. This meant that in the 6th and 7th centuries, while wider Europe was in intellectual decline, Ireland was experiencing a cultural revolution. A multitude of scholarly texts and historical manuscripts were produced at Clonmacnoise. The site became widely regarded as a hub of higher learning and attracted scholars from across Europe. Clonmacnoise also became home to many artistic and skillful craftsmen who produced a wealth of artefacts. Among the most famous pieces believed to have been produced at Clonmacnoise is the Ardagh chalice, which dates back to the 8th century AD. As Clonmacnoise prospered and grew in prestige, it frequently became a target of attacks from the 8th century onwards. These raids were mostly carried out by warring Gaelic Irish kingdoms, the Norse Vikings, and later by the Anglo-Normans following the Norman invasion of Ireland in the 12th century. Despite all these attacks, the monks remained unperturbed and rebuilt the monastery time after time. By the 9th century, the wooden structures had all been replaced with stone, and a populous community of around 2,000 people were living in and around the site of the monastery. By the 12th century, the influence which Clonmacnoise had once had on the central control of Ireland and the Catholic Church within Ireland had begun to drastically decline and left the monastic site politically marginalised in a country which was becoming increasingly centralised. In 1214 AD, John the Grey, the Norman Bishop of Norwich, established a castle in close proximity to the monastic site. A castle was often established to assert control over a specific area, which the Normans needed in this region, given the influence the Brehon laws had on Clonmacnoise and its environs. Despite becoming increasingly politically isolated, Clonmacnoise continued in its preservation of the arts and faith. Many of the buildings such as Temple Kelly and Temple Kieran were also erected during this medieval period. As Ireland became more anglicised in the following centuries, Clonmacnoise fell into further decline and became more and more insignificant. From 1569 to 1641, Clonmacnoise fell into the hands of the Church of Ireland as part of the Diocese of Meath Kildare, which left the site on the periphery of its own diocese, far from the centre of command. After a series of rebellions and skirmishes, Clonmacnoise eventually came back under Gaelic Irish control, and thus the control of the Catholic Church. As it stands today, Clonmacnoise lives on as a ruin, preserved and managed under the stewardship of the Office of Public Works. The once bustling, learning, spiritual and commercial hub of Ireland, and to a large extent Europe, is now but a shell of its former self, and its role in 21st century Ireland is one primarily consisting of tourism and historical learning. The most impressive and well preserved of the other stone structures still standing today include Clonmacnoise Cathedral, the 11th century Temple Doolin, the 18th century Temple Herpan, 7 churches, 2 round towers and 3 high crosses. Modern day Clonmacnoise also contains an on-site interpretive visitor centre and museum, which gives the visitor a visual timeline of the site. In 1979, Pope John Paul II made it a priority to visit what he described as a revered spot and a place which was long the centre of a renowned school of sacred art. His Holiness described how he wished to honour the great monastic contribution which was made by Clonmacnoise for over 1,000 years, and how the influence of the monastic school was felt all over Europe.